Hello YouTubes, a couple of months ago I picked up this lifelike locomotive on eBay, $15, spares a repair. I had intended to strip it for parts for the other similar loco I've got, but I put it on the track and it kind of ran. The problem is these older locos have traction tyres, so it's kind of power at the back and it drives the front, and they have traction tyres. Now traction tyres are quite expensive because modern locos don't have them anymore, and on this one, as you can see, the two of them are missing and the other two are crumbling away. Now I tried using O-rings, little rubber O-rings, which worked on a Hornby loco, but they just didn't work on this. As you can see, once it gets to a bend, it just falls off. So last night I had an epiphany. Don't worry, I cleaned it up. I'm going to attempt to replace these traction tyres with heat shrink tubing, scissors, and some form of heat gun or giant Bunsen burner. So let us begin. Ideally, I would like to take this body off, but the previous owner, in their infinite wisdom, has glued the body on, and I don't want to completely destroy it for the sake of an experiment. So, as luck would have it, I believe that I can remove these wheels without taking the body off by putting a little screwdriver in here, levering this up, and it should release the bottom of the truck assembly, or at least the part that holds the wheels in. And it does. So obviously I want to take the wheels out because I'm going to have to use the fiery machine with the heat shrink tubing, and I don't want to set the whole thing on fire. So let me take these wheels out, cut some heat shrink tubing to size, slip it over, and see if it works. Now ideally I would like slightly bigger tubing, but this is the biggest I've got. I think I'll be able to slip it over and put it in the groove. If it doesn't fit, I'll need to go and find some more. Remember, it's going to shrink and seal this little tyre onto the wheel, which will prevent it from slipping. Let's give it a shot. Now this is a bit wider than I would like, and I don't think it's going to shrink that much, so I'm going to cut even slimmer. That looks a bit better. Actually no, that looks exactly the same. That's a little bit smaller. Let's try it. If it doesn't work, we can always try it again. I've got an endless supply of that size. So this is going to be a little bit fiddly. Put one side on first, hold it with your thumb, use a tiny little screwdriver, and just persuade it all the way around, like so. It's probably similar to how you put the real ones on anyway. It's not bad, it's kind of angled in the way though. I would rather that was flat. But I'm hoping that when I use the heat gun slash fiery furnace, it will shrink it down into the groove. Otherwise I would need to cut an even thinner strip. I'll give it a shot before I proceed to either put another layer on or do the other wheel, but as you can see we've definitely got a bit of a taper going in the way. Right, we'll give it a shot. Oh, that's a bit too much fire. Let's turn it right down. Obviously you could just use a lighter for this. Right, you need to be really careful because these are plastic wheels, so really just enough heat to, in fact I'm going to use pliers because I don't want to lose my fingers either. Don't try this at home, kids. I'm actually starting to think if I had just cut the heat shrink tubing down a little bit skinnier, then I won't even need to use the fire, because that is not working. Okay, let's try something else. Let's just cut that a little bit skinnier so that it fits in the groove better. Let's try this size. This looks very similar to what's actually on the original, so it should slot onto the, or slip into its little groove. Similar method, hold it with one finger, feed it round. I just don't know if it's going to be thick enough. It fits in nice though. It will have to fit right in the groove or it's going to go clickety clack, you'll get a sort of flat spot. I know you're thinking at this point, oh my goodness, I'll just buy a set, but they're just so expensive for what you get. Okay, I got that almost right, but it's, oh no, it's slipped in now. I thought it was a wee bit fat at one side. Yeah, just here it's a wee bit fat, a wee bit wide. So you need to be quite accurate when you're snipping this stuff in a line. Probably best to use a craft knife rather than a scissors, to be honest, because with scissors you can't really see what you're doing until it's cut. I'm going to take that one off, try it again with a bit more accuracy. See you in a sec. That's pretty good. I am going to double up on that one, because although it's fitting in the slot, it's not quite bringing it up to the surface. So another one of that size should be just fine. Not bad. We'll give it a shot. Oh, of course I need to do the other wheel. This one's still got a traction tyre on this side, but it's a little bit on the crumbly side. There's some little gaps, but this will let me know if it's going to work at all. Right, let me do the other one, and then we'll put it back in the train. Both wheels are done. Oh, come back. Come back. Let us reassemble. Not sure if it matters which way around the wheels go. Let's just, maybe it does matter, because obviously this spline has to meet with that one there. I'm going to just double check for future. Yeah, definitely has to go in that way around. So the flat side here, flat side of that gear rests against the flat side of that one. And the spline section actually reaches to the inner spline section in there. I'm sure you all know this, so I'll stop wasting your time. Click that in there. Click that in there. That seems to be fine. Put this, what do you call this? Bogie cover? Truck cover? Whatever. There's a little arrow on this, presumably that means forward. Click the back side in. Click the front side in, I believe. Like so. Oh, you didn't see that. That was a nice clicking. And we're done. Let's see if it works. Give it some power. Will it make the bend? Oh, it's made the bend. I'm hearing a little bit of, well, I'm sure you can hear the bit of a click. Might need a wee bit of work to fine tune those little tyres. It's going round the track, which is nice. This is a 4.5% gradient, so the traction tyres needs more power. Hold on. Looks like I've got a dodgy bit of track up there. Yeah, blame the track, don't blame the engine. Let's try a different bit of track. Okay, this bit over here is a 2% gradient, so we shouldn't have any excuses. Remember, I've not taken this apart, so the motor itself is going to need a wee bit of work. This is all about testing tyres. Wow, it's quite noisy, eh? That might just be down to a low quality locomotive. Let's go full power. Works! Someone forgot to clear the track of rolling stock. Anyway, it seems to work, which is awesome because heat shrink tubing is pretty cheap, and most people who are working with electrical stuff are going to have some heat shrink tubing. Let me just get the size for that. As I say, I was going to use the heat gun to shrink it down, but it doesn't look like it needs it, especially if you're stretching over. So let me just tell you the size I used. I don't know. It was the biggest one in the pack. 9mm diameter, possibly. No, that's not. Yeah, maybe 9mm diameter. So 10 would be fine. Wouldn't need to stretch it so much. Hardest part is just cutting it down to size. But you can get quite a few test pieces out of that one little strip. I'm happy with that. So I think I'll go ahead and carefully remove that body shell and give the engine a bit of a, or give the motor a bit of a clean up and a wee bit of oil, and we should be good. Happy days. Hope that helped save you a little bit of money. Certainly saved me some dollars, like 40 of them. I'll see you soon. The next video, I have got to clear this up and get some track permanently down. Bye for now.